Hey guys, J-Mac and Vera here. How you guys doing today? Lila is taking a much-deserved vacation from adventuring, so today we are going to be working with Vera. Vera is the only one that can fight Margit. I have already defeated Margit on Lila's account. That was a long time before I even started this channel. But I really loved Margit. It's just like one of my favorite boss fights of all time, of all games actually. He's just so much fun to fight. And it's one of the big reasons why I created Vera in the first place, was I wanted to just keep fighting Margit. So that's what these following clips are going to be. Basically just practice rounds of fighting Margit over and over. And if I ever get to the point where I am about to beat Margit, basically I'll just take off my weapons and just see how long I can live and survive and just let him take me down. Because I don't actually want to beat him. I just wanted to fight him. So since these videos didn't have any audio of their own, I'm going to go ahead and just narrate the video as it goes along. It was really fun. I did it in one of the last videos, and I liked the result so much. So we're gonna go ahead and do that again here. I'm excited. Margit is a really hard boss, so we're gonna go ahead and just let him pound his lessons right into us, and let him teach us how to become absolute pro at Elden Ring. So let's put our foolish ambitions to the test. Are you guys ready? All right, let's do this. To war! Leroy Jenkins! Alright, let's try this. So I'm all set up. It's going to work a little bit like a podcast, I guess. I'm just going to narrate as we go along. Did this in a video not too long ago, and it was a lot of fun. So I say, you know what? Let's try it again. So with these clips that I did, this is on a day when I was wanting to just fight Margit, and I was actually not intending on making any of this into a video. I say that like all the time, but this is actually very true. In fact, I was actually trying really hard not to record clips on this day, because I basically just wanted to fight Margit. When I started the YouTube channel, Lila had already gone through and completed Margit and Stormvale Castle and a whole bunch of the caves all through Limgrave. And so on the very first time when I was able to start making the YouTube videos, I think I was all the way up into the Altus Plateau by that point. And I hadn't done Renala yet, but I had already beaten like Margit and all those parts, which is too bad because I wanted Lila to be, I wanted her to be my first time playthrough on a bunch of different things, and I didn't get the chance to do that with Margit, so now I'm kind of going back and redoing it now. But so anyway, I created Vara to solve that issue. Vara is basically my character that I can now go through and replay some of these parts, and specifically now since I have Margit open to me again, and I now can play him over and over and over again because he's a lot of fun to play, you know. I love this boss fight, and once you beat him, then it's over and you don't get to do it again unless you create a new character again. So anyway, that was what I was doing on this day, is I was just playing Margit. I was just over and over, and the way that I was judging on how good I was doing was how much of his health was missing by the end. So when the very first time when I was on Lila's account and I was fighting Margit, I was only able to chunk him out about 10% of his health. So he still had 90% of his health still to go, and by that point he would kill me. And over time I slowly got a little bit better, and then I could get him down to 75% health. And if I got lucky and I fought really well in a particular fight, I could maybe chunk him down to 50%. And now 50% is like my standard. Like I can most of these fights I was getting at least close to 50, if not to 50. I can get him to a second phase basically. And so that's how I can tell, okay, I'm getting better. Can I consistently get him down to 25% health? Can I get him down to 10% health, you know? And that's how I can tell that I've improved. And then if I do get him down to where he's like about to die, then I just let him kill me so I can do it again. But in any case, the way that I beat Margit when I first did him with Lila is I realized, oh, you can summon the ashes that you have, which I didn't think would be really all that helpful because the ashes are kind of weak to begin with, at least in my experience. But then there was also the sorcerer Rajir that you can summon, and at first I didn't want to fight Margit with a partner because I thought that they were actual other players, and I was like, oh yeah, other players can probably beat this guy like in 2 seconds. So I was like, I want to beat him, you know. But then I realized, oh, it's an NPC. I remember this guy. He was, he's, well, I didn't remember him at the time, but you find him again in Stormvale Castle anyway. But I was like, oh yeah, I am indeed. That's right, it does. So I was like, oh yeah, I can summon Roger. Oh, that's great. And so that's actually what I did at that point. It was I just summoned Roger, and he was enough where he could chunk out the other 50%, and I could chunk out 50%, and that added up to being able to beat Margit after, I don't know, like 10 tries or something like that. It still took some time, but it made it possible at that point. So that's how I beat Margit the very first time. And I didn't really get a chance to go back and fight him again until I made Varus, so... this video, it was based off of a whole bunch of random footage that I had collected over time. And so I've tried to include some of the fights that were whole. Like this one was my very first fight of the day. And so you can see like I'm really rusty. I'm not super good at getting him. And then just slowly over time I got better. But obviously had to get beat up a lot. Like a lot. Ugh. He killed me quite a bit, and you can see like how bad my health is, like as he's taking me down like over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, he's a bastard. He's hard to beat. But, you know, every time that he beats me, that's a chance for me to, like, improve and get better. So each one of these deaths is basically him teaching me, oh, you should have known to do this. You should have predicted this. Oh, I tricked you this way. Now you know. Now you can do better on the next fight. So that's how I kept approaching this. I was like, I want to keep getting better and better and better. I want to get to the point where it's like the speedrunners. I was watching a speedrunner dude at one point. And the dude was crazy because it's like he was like level 1, barely. I think he had a sword or something. I can't remember. And that's all that he had, and he was still able to like beat Margit like almost without taking any hits. Like it's crazy how good he was. And I want to get to that point where Margit is no challenge anymore. Like I can beat him pretty much at almost any level with any weapon. I also want to get good at him with any weapon. So. The reason why I was fighting him with just a dagger, that's all I'm using is a dagger in all of these clips except for the last clip. The reason I'm using a dagger is because it's one of the lowest damage weapons that you can have, and also it's really fun because you can go so quickly, so it makes this fight like really fast paced, which is super fun. But it lets me control whether I'm going to kill Margit or not, you know, because it doesn't really do that much damage, and that's the point. I don't want to take him down too quickly. I want a good full fight. I've actually been tempted to do some fights with just my fist. Wouldn't that be a cool video? Fighting Margit with just your fists. I bet I could do it. It probably takes some time to like learn how to do it properly, but I bet I could do it. So yeah. But yeah, so I had a bunch of clips where so I had a whole bunch of clips, and what I did is I chose 5 of them that were representative of what happened during that day. So the very first one, I was really bad. This one that we're on right now, I was like slowly improving, getting a little bit better, and I was being very controlled in this clip, which I've realized you can fight Margit in one of 2 ways. You can go very, very controlled, like I'm doing here, and try to always be in the right spot, only attack when you know that it's safe, try to just focus on dodging and not taking damage. And you can beat Margit, or you can chunk him out over time doing this. the other way, which was so much more fun, you'll see in like the next clips, is where I start to become way more aggressive, and I start to try to become as overbearing on Margit as he is on us. You know, a lot of people when they fight Margit, it's like he just doesn't let up. He just constantly attacking you, constantly hammering. Every time you go in, he's hitting you. Every time you move back, he's jumping on top of you. Like, he's always there. And that's what I learned. Oh yeah, and this right here where I like actually managed to break his poise, that was a really cool moment because I didn't even realize you could do that with a dagger. I was like, oh my gosh, I've hit him so many times that I broke his poise. That's crazy. And so in the later clips, I spent a lot of time trying to see if I could like duplicate that. Like, ooh, can I break his poise with the dagger again? And it's harder than it is with other weapons, but yeah, you can do it for sure. Yeah, I was so excited when I broke his poise for the first time. I was like, whoa, holy shit. But yeah, so with any of the clips that I didn't use, I just turn them into a montage. Like right here, this is just a montage of the moments that I thought were cool from it. And you can kind of see how I get more and more aggressive as time goes on, as I get better at dodging him and I get better at keeping like on top of him, knowing when I can attack and when I can't. Yeah, when he jumps high in the air, that's like your freebie. And I wanted to get like a nice little collection of like the different moves that he does, as well as the responses that you can do in order to get him. Like, there's like a lot of options you have. Like, he moves this way, moves that way. You can do this, you can do that. Staying behind him is really like the key. Like, you see it every once in a while. Like, I'll try to get behind him, and then that's when you can usually hit him like 4, 5, 6 times. If you're a fast weapon, you can hit him more. If you're slower, then you'd only maybe get 1 or 2. But yeah. And I was also realizing some of his attacks, you can't really dodge them consistently. His little double dagger thing that he does, like, you really can't dodge that consistently, at least not if you're trying to damage him at the same time. So what I started trying to do over time was learning to block that specific attack and just avoid his bigger ones. But that's not really even the best way to go about this. Like, the key to those little dagger things is to realize that they just don't really do that much damage to begin with. So, like, you can dodge it, but see, it gives him the opportunity to jump out of the way, and you lose your chance to like hit him more, I guess, if that makes sense. Oh, there we go. Get him again. That's right. Take it. Eat it, Margit. Eat it. Alright, I think we're back onto a full fight again, so you can see that I'm like improving slowly over time. Getting more aggressive, so this is where I start to get more and more aggressive. My goal is to stay on top of him as much as I can. Because I keep, I really want to like break his poise at this point, you know. So, yeah, and then I do actually switch to a different weapon on the very last clip, and that wasn't because I didn't think I could beat him with a dagger. It was because I wanted to see if the dagger was too OP for him. Like, maybe a really fast weapon made it so that I could just hit him at moments when you wouldn't be able to hit him with anything else, but turns out that's not the case at all. Actually, dagger is really weak against him. The bigger the weapon, the better, because then it breaks his poise like so much easier. And that ended up what happened in the last clips, is I ended up breaking his poise easily because it was a larger weapon, and with blood loss too, and which I wasn't expecting. None of these weapons are leveled up in any way. Vera doesn't have anything that's leveled up. She's leveled up to like 40 or 50 or something around there. But none of her weapons shouldn't have any upgrades or anything like that. So I just wanted a good old-fashioned fight, which was the fun part for me. So, and one thing that was kind of interesting too was that I wanted to make some videos that were teaching newer players just kind of the basics on things like on the stats of your character, how they work, fighting technique. I've never really played as a mage or anything like that. I don't have any like the sorceries and like the incantations. I don't have characters that do that. So all of my background is with fighting, like melee fighting. And so I wanted to share like the knowledge that I had acquired at this point. Like works, this is what doesn't. Like this is how you think of it if you want to like win a fight against something. And I didn't want to make any of these videos though until I'd actually like beaten the game, because it's like, okay, why should anyone take me seriously if I haven't even beaten the game yet, you know, which is fair. And so one thing I was worried about when I was trying to think how I was going to make these videos though was some of these things would be good against weak enemies, like just normal foes that you encounter out in the world. But I was like, but do these things actually work against bosses? Probably not. And in these clips, you can see that those techniques do actually work against bosses. So like one of the things that I do a lot on Margit is you'll see that I actually raise my blade up and like in a guard, and then I circle around him. And that's something that I do really commonly when I'm fighting lesser enemies. And it was something I would have taught in one of my videos that I'm, you know, teaching the basics. And it not only does it work against Margit, it works really, really, really well. See there, I go doing it right there. It lets you get behind so that you can either get a backstab or, in Margit's case, a whole bunch of combo hits in a row. And so it's like, yeah, these techniques that I want to like teach people and share, they do work on bosses. They work on everything, you know. And so yeah, that was kind of encouraging for me. It's like, oh yeah, my techniques, they do work. You just have to get good at them. You know, it's not like a freebie or anything. It's not. I don't cheese enemies. I want to fight them legit, but I can teach the techniques on how to fight legit. You know, which I think is fun. That's the reason I love Elden Ring so much. Is you can fight things in this legit way. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You can fight things in a way that makes it a challenge, or you can cheese stuff if you want, and it will improve you by the challenge of it, you know, because it's so hard, because it's so difficult, because it beats you up so much. It makes you better, it makes you stronger. I love that, you know. I love that growth. Yeah, and even in like these little montages, so now we're back into a montage again. Even in these montages, like you can see I'm getting better and better, like from what I was at the start. Like I'm figuring out his moveset, I'm figuring out what works. It's like, oh, I can go this way when I dodge, I can hit him here. This little crouch. I was doing that to him a lot, and in a lot of moments when I wasn't recording, where I'd like taunt him by like crouching. I'm like, that's right, take it, Margit. I was like taunting him so much. I was like, this would have been funny if I had been recording, but yeah, whatevs. So yeah. Come on, Margit, what you got at all? Oh shit. All right, I guess he's got me. But yeah, you can see that my style though is getting like increasingly more aggressive, and it'll start to get pretty cool. Like I almost want to talk a little bit less now because I kind of want to like show it off. But yeah, I wanted to stay right on top of him. Yeah, I think I even got to the point where I learned how to dodge his double dagger strike thing too. I don't know how to do it consistently, but like if I'm in the mode, you know, I can do it. Yeah, see right there, like going around behind him like that, that's something that I do on lesser enemies, and it's really effective on Margit. Yeah, it's hard for me to tell like where I am in the clips because I actually merged all of this together, and it used to be separated so I could see like the individual fights, but now I can't. So I don't even know where we are in the video anymore. I can't remember if this is maybe the fourth fight, I think. Oh yeah, I started to get better and better at breaking his poise too. Like you can see, like it's starting to become more routine now. Where I'm like, okay, if I stay high aggressive on him, I can break his poise now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the fourth fight. But yeah, oh man, digging through all of the footage in order to make this, holy crap, there was so much. It took a really long time. When I started watching these, I actually really like watching my own boss fights. Not necessarily even for how I'm playing, but because I like to watch the boss. Like I think it's kind of fun. But after watching, like, editing the footage is so much different from playing it or watching it for the first time on a YouTube video. When you're editing, you have to watch it and then rewatch it and then rewatch it again and then rewatch it again. I feel like that's probably why I don't watch my own videos as often as I probably could. I'll watch the older ones. Like the older the video gets, the more I'll be like, oh yeah, I want to like go back and see how that video was. But after I get done editing these things, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to watch any more of my own footage ever again. Too much. Too many hours spent doing this. Jeez, I spent a couple days on this, and I spent pretty much all tonight doing this now, so... There we go, breaking his poise again. Yeah, that's how I'd rank my skill. I am a passing skill, I suppose. I wouldn't say I was, like, cracked at it yet. I'd like to become cracked at Elden Ring, but right now I would consider myself of passing skill. Get him, Varric, get him! Oh yeah, when he does like his quick hammer slam, you dodge into it, not away from it. That was one of the things I learned. When he got to his second stage, I was having a hard time because I wasn't familiar with some of his moves. This move right here, holy shit, I hate that move. His little 4-strike combo, God, that's such a bitch. From what I can tell, the only way you can dodge that stupid thing at this point that I know of is to just do 4 jump rolls back to back, and you have to align it perfectly to his. So if you start it and you don't have it perfectly aligned, you're screwed. He's just gonna like nail you and probably kill you off of that combo. Jeez, it's so hard to dodge it even if you have an idea on how to do it. Although the more I fight him, because I'm gonna keep fighting Margit because he's fun, the more I fight him, the more I'm probably gonna find a way of dodging that stupid thing. But yeah, right now that's his one move that I still don't feel like I can stop. You know, almost all of his other moves I have at least some kind of response to, but not that stupid 4-hit combo. Oh, I guess this would be the 4th fight. The one from before was actually the 3rd one. Alright, we're almost there. Yeah, that 5th fight though. 5th fight took me by surprise, you know. Because right now my goal is just to see how consistently I can get his health down to a certain point, you know. I can almost always get his health down to 50%, if not a little bit more, but his second phase is still a little bit too hard for me to do. Oh god, I love the way that things move in this fight. That's why I like this fight so much. As you start to get good with it, and you can just gracefully and smoothly go from move to move to move. God, it just feels so good. You just feel like a fucking Jedi or something. I don't know. It's just fun. Oh yeah, so here's our 5th fight. Okay, this makes sense. So you see I switched over to the spiked mace thing, whatever the hell it's called. It's not upgraded, it's just what it is at the start. I just wanted to see if a slower weapon could also hit him. The answer is yes. See? And it's so much easier to break poise with this thing too. Like and it's fast. It's fast like the dagger. It's not as fast as the dagger, but I can still get in there and get hits in. Not with this thing, I'm not. Like, this is... Honestly, this was the first time I ever used this weapon, the Morning Star. Yeah, that's what it's called. This is the first time I've ever used that weapon. He calls me a passing skill. Passing nothing. I'm a noob on this weapon. Yeah, but oh god, after I got done with this fight, I was like, man, I might have to start using Morning Star more often, because god damn, it feels good to break poise, especially when it's something big like Margit. Oh, it just feels good. Knock him down. Yeah, I used to be real scared of his like his second phase where he has the glowy hammer and he slams down on top of you. Oh, there it is. That combo right there is a bitch to dodge. Oh, there he goes again. Yeah, see, if you don't align it perfectly, he's gonna get you. And that was pretty close though, but he still got me once. Oh, bummer. At this point, I was thinking I was gonna die, but then I looked down at his health and I realized, oh snap, look at his health, it's so low. And I was kind of toying with the idea, like, do I want to keep using this? No, I better take it off because I don't want to accidentally kill him. And so instead I'm like, alright, fists time. Actually, I wasn't even going to hit him with my fists because I didn't want to risk accidentally winning the fight, because I want to keep doing this fight over. Oh, there it is. Oh, I actually dodged it that time, but I timed it really well. So that would be why. You have to time it perfectly. And this part actually took a long time, and I didn't realize it, but I still had a whole bunch of the health pots to go. Like the health flasks. I had 4 or 5 of those still to go. I was like, oh shit. Like, if this was a real fight, I definitely would have won, like, easily by this point. Like, if I was trying to beat him, I would have won. But yeah, I cut out, like, this actually took a long time for him to finally finish me off. Like, even just wearing down my remaining health pots, it took him forever, because I was focusing on defense at that point. So I went ahead and I just cut it. I was like, alright, we'll just go to where he actually does kill me. I don't want the video to go too long, but anyway, thanks so much for watching, you guys. This is really fun. Yeah, I love fighting Margit. Alright, thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys had fun. And make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and whatever else you guys are going to do. I really appreciate you guys' support, and hope to see you guys on the next adventure. Alright, peace on out.